Revelação do Grok 3, o futuro da IA. Descubra os avanços inovadores e considerações éticas em torno do modelo de IA Grok 3 da XAI, desde o aprendizado profundo até as aplicações do mundo real, nesta exploração profunda envolvente.
All right, so get this.
Okay.
You want to talk about AI that's rocketing forward.
Mm-hmm.
You sent us a ton of stuff on XAI and their Grok 3 model.
Yeah.
Even that whole Elon Musk demo on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
We're talking plotting space travel,
Really?
making up video games,
Uh-huh.
maybe even like calling March Madness
Wow.
all in minutes.
That's incredible.
This isn't your average AI.
No kidding. Yeah, the speed is what gets me.
Yeah.
17 months ago, Grok was like a toy.
Right.
Now it's potentially doing things humans can't in certain areas. That's unheard of, even in AI time.
Right. It's crazy. So let's unpack all this.
Okay.
Starting with XAI's whole deal.
Right.
They want to understand the universe no matter what. This maximal truth-seeking thing,
Yeah.
even if it like ruffles feathers,
Yeah.
that's a bold mission statement.
It is. It is. They're aiming for the big stuff.
Oh.
Aliens, meaning of life,
Mhm.
how it all began and ends.
Wow.
And the name Grok from that sci-fi book,
I remember that.
I mean, it's to really get something deeply.
Right.
It fits, especially with how fast this thing is learning.
From Grok 1,
Yeah.
which was cool for its time,
Yeah, it was pretty good.
to Grok 3.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference maker here?
Compute power.
Okay.
Like going from a hand calculator to a supercomputer. They went from about 6,500 GPUs to 100,000.
Really?
Insane how much they scaled up.
Okay, back up.
All right.
GPUs,
Yeah.
for those of us who aren't building robots in the garage.
Sure. Think of them as the brains of the operation.
Okay.
More GPUs means more horsepower for the AI to crunch data and learn.
Right.
And to get all those GPUs working, they built their own data center
Wow.
in 122 days.
Wait,
Yeah.
they built a whole data center?
He did.
That's like a skyscraper project,
Yeah.
not a weekend DIY thing.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not just rent server space like everyone else?
Well, traditional providers were quoting them like 18 months to 2 years. For XAI, that's an eternity.
Yeah.
They needed that power now.
Okay.
So they found an old factory, upgraded the power grid,
Oh, wow.
dealt with cooling systems. That must have been monstrous.
I can imagine. And Elon Musk's fingerprints are all over this, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wasn't he even tweeting about debugging network cables at 4 a.m.?
He was all in on this project.
Wow.
That level of hands-on involvement from the CEO is rare.
That's crazy.
Even using Tesla megapacks for the power grid, that's next-level synergy.
So they've got this insane setup, but what does it actually do?
Yeah.
All those benchmarks, they crushed math, science, coding.
Yeah, they did great.
That's got to be more than just bragging rights, right?
It means this thing is solving problems that stumped other AIs.
Interesting.
The American Invitational Math Examination, PhD-level science questions,
Really?
even beating its own little brother, Grok Mini, on the latest A test.
Wow.
It's learning, not just memorizing.
Let's talk about real-world stuff, because that demo was wild.
It was pretty cool.
Grok 3 plotting a trip to Mars and back in real time.
Yeah.
That's not just some theoretical equation. That's like
Right.
mission control level stuff.
It used physics principles to generate that code on the fly. That's the kind of thing that could revolutionize space exploration.
Wow.
And then there's the video game.
Yeah.
Created a mix of Tetris and Bejeweled.
Which is actually fun to play,
Oh, yeah.
gotta say.
It's cool.
But how does an AI get creative like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's not just number crunching.
Right.
That's like artistic vision or something.
It points to something interesting.
Okay.
Grok 3 can synthesize existing concepts and create something new. Now, is that true creativity?
Yeah.
That's a debate for another time,
Right.
but it's definitely impressive.
And they keep mentioning this test time compute thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like giving the AI time to think harder.
Exactly.
Okay.
Most AIs just spit out the first answer they find.
Right.
Grok 3 can explore multiple solutions, weigh them against each other, and come up with a better answer.
So it's not just speed.
Right.
It's about how it thinks.
Exactly.
That's pretty different from what we're used to with AI.
It is.
And they're using this for something called deep search.
Mm.
That sounded like Google on steroids.
Well, it's designed to go way beyond keywords.
Yeah.
It analyzes your intent, browses multiple sites,
Oh, wow.
cross-references information.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So if I ask it,
Uh-huh.
you say for the next Starship launch date.
Yeah.
It doesn't just give me a link to SpaceX's website.
No.
So.
It might check weather forecasts, Elon's tweets,
Okay.
maybe even FAA filings to give you a truly informed answer.
Wow. And they were using it to find good character builds in that Path of Exile game. That's hardcore gamer territory. What else can it do?
They even showed it making March Madness predictions, and it was using some pretty sophisticated analysis to get there.
So this deep search,
Yeah.
Is that something we can use now? Or is it like top secret beta stuff?
They're rolling it out to Premium Plus subscribers on X.
Okay.
And launching a Super Grok subscription for the most advanced features.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Paid subscriptions for AI?
Yeah.
That's a whole new world.
It is.
And a dedicated app. It's like they're building a whole ecosystem around this thing.
They want to make this accessible,
Okay.
but also control the rollout carefully.
Right.
It makes sense, given how powerful Grok 3 is.
Yeah.
They even mentioned voice interaction that understands your tone.
Really?
Personalized memory.
Wow.
Almost like it's getting to know you.
Okay, now this is where it gets a little sci-fi.
Yeah.
Different Grok's personalities. So like I could have a sassy Grok and a super serious Grok helping me with different tasks.
It's still in development, but the potential is mind-boggling.
Right.
Imagine customizing your AI assistant to match your personality or the task at hand.
Wow. And they're not done yet.
No, they're not.
Didn't they say they're building an even bigger training cluster?
5 times more powerful.
Wow.
They're pushing the limits of what's possible, and it's happening at a pace we've never seen before.
But what does all this mean for us?
That's the question.
For everyday people.
Yeah.
That's the question we need to think about.
We do. We need to think about it carefully.
This is where we need to take a deeper dive.
Exactly. We've seen what Grok 3 can do.
Right.
But the bigger question is, what will it mean? That's what we'll explore next.
Okay.
You know, as we're talking about all this power and speed,
Right.
it's easy to get caught up in the wow factor.
Yeah.
But the XAI team keeps hammering on this idea of Grok 3 actually thinking.
Yeah.
That's different.
It's not just about being faster or smarter. It's about how it approaches problems.
Exactly.
Like that test time compute thing, you know, giving it space to actually ponder. That seems almost human.
It is. And the results they showed.
Yeah.
It's not just hype.
Okay.
Giving Grok 3 that extra time to think actually leads to better solutions.
Interesting.
It's like the difference between a knee-jerk reaction and a carefully considered response.
So it's not just processing power, it's processing thoughtfully.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's self-aware?
Hmm.
Conscious.
Ooh.
That's getting into some deep philosophical territory.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
But the way they're building Grok 3
yeah.
with this emphasis on understanding, on grokking things deeply,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder where the line is.
Right. And they're giving it access to so much information.
Right.
Web, code.
Yeah.
Like, they're prepping it to interact with the world in a whole new way.
Think about the potential.
Okay.
If Grok 3 can understand information, analyze it,
Yeah.
and even create things like that video game, what happens when it starts applying that to real-world problems?
Okay. But that's where people start getting nervous, right?
Yeah.
AI taking over jobs, making decisions for us.
Yeah.
Is that the future we're heading towards?
It's a valid concern.
Okay.
Any powerful tool can be misused.
Right.
But look at how XAI is emphasizing maximal truth-seeking.
Yeah.
That suggests they're trying to build something that's not just smart, but also aligned with human values.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about the intent behind it.
Exactly.
Like, are we building AI to serve us or to replace us?
That's a big question.
It is.
And it's one we need to keep asking.
Okay.
But imagine this.
Yeah.
What if, instead of fearing AI, we saw it as a partner,
Okay.
a collaborator that could help us solve problems we can't tackle alone?
Like a super-powered research assistant that never gets tired.
Exactly.
Or a brainstorming buddy that can come up with solutions no human would ever think of.
Exactly. And that's what gets me excited about Grok 3.
Okay.
It's not just about automation, it's about augmentation, expanding what's humanly possible.
But for that to work, this AI needs to really understand us, right? Not just our instructions, but our goals, our values.
Yeah, exactly.
That whole grokking thing again.
And they're building that in.
Oh, really?
Remember the personalized conversational memory?
Yeah.
It's like Grok 3 is learning your preferences, your communication style.
Okay.
Almost like a real relationship is forming.
Whoa.
Yeah.
A relationship with an AI?
Yeah.
That's deep.
It is.
And those different Grok personalities, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little creepy.
Maybe a little.
Like, is my AI judging me for picking the sassy one?
Definitely pushing the boundaries of what we're comfortable with.
Right.
But think about the possibilities.
Oh.
Need help with a creative project.
Yeah.
Call up the whimsical Grok. Taxes got you stressed.
Uh-oh.
Time for the super organized Grok.
Okay, now I'm picturing a whole team of Groks arguing over the best way to organize my sock drawer.
Uh-huh.
That's either hilarious or a nightmare.
It'll be interesting to see how people adapt to this.
Yeah.
Will we treat AI as tools or as companions?
Right.
Or something in between?
This is getting deep.
It is.
But let's bring it back to reality for a second.
Okay.
All this potential is great,
Yeah,
but it's still early days, right?
it is.
What are the challenges they need to overcome?
The technical challenges are huge.
Okay.
Building that data center was just the first step.
Right.
Training these models requires massive amounts of data,
Mm-hmm.
constant refinement.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing process.
And then there's the ethical side.
Oh, absolutely.
Making sure this power is used responsibly,
Yeah.
that we don't create something that gets out of control.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And XAI seems to be taking that seriously. Their commitment to open sourcing Grok 2 is a big deal.
Wait, back up.
Yeah.
Why open source it? Wouldn't that give away their secret sauce?
It's a balancing act.
Okay.
Keeping everything closed source breeds mistrust.
Right.
Open sourcing fosters collaboration, lets the wider AI community contribute, helps spot potential problems.
So it's like, with great power comes great responsibility.
So.
They're choosing transparency over secrecy,
Yes.
even if it means less control.
Right.
That's a bold move.
And it sets a good precedent for the whole field. AI development shouldn't be a black box controlled by a few companies. It needs open discussion,
Yeah.
ethical guidelines.
Right, because this stuff is going to impact everyone eventually.
Exactly.
It's not just about cool tech demos anymore. It's
Right.
about shaping the future.
And that future is coming faster than we think.
Yeah.
XAI is already building that bigger training cluster.
Really?
What will Grok 4 be capable of?
Wow.
We can only imagine.
Okay, now I'm getting chills.
Yeah,
This is moving so fast.
it is.
It's hard to wrap your head around it.
I know.
But this open sourcing thing,
Yeah.
how does that actually work?
So
Do they just put the code on GitHub and say, have fun?
it's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
They'll release the code, documentation,
Okay.
maybe even some training data.
Huh.
This allows researchers and developers to study the model.
So it's like a giant open source project,
Yeah.
but for AI.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wild.
It is.
I can't imagine Google open sourcing their search algorithm anytime soon.
It's a different philosophy.
Mm.
XAI seems to believe that the benefits of open collaboration
Okay.
outweigh the risks.
Right.
And it's not just altruism.
Okay.
There's a strategic element, too.
Mm.
By open sourcing Grok 2,
Yeah.
they're essentially crowdsourcing its development.
Oh.
They're getting more eyes on the code,
All right.
more brains working on improvements.
So it's like an open beta, but for the entire AI community.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty smart, actually.
It is.
But it also means they're putting a lot of trust in people
Right.
not to misuse this technology.
Yeah.
Do they have any safeguards in place?
It's a big question.
Yeah.
There's always the risk of someone using open source code
Mm.
for malicious purposes.
Right.
But the XAI team seems to believe that the open approach,
Okay.
combined with ethical guidelines and community oversight,
Mm-hmm.
is the best way to mitigate those risks.
It's like they're saying,
Yeah.
we're not going to solve this alone.
Right.
We need everyone at the table to figure out how to build AI responsibly.
Exactly.
That's a pretty big responsibility to put on the community.
It is.
Yeah.
But it also empowers people.
Mm.
It says this technology is too important to be controlled by a few.
Right.
We all have a stake in shaping its future.
Yeah.
That's a powerful message.
It is. And it circles back to what we were talking about earlier.